What's up, everybody? Crash here. Welcome back to Crash Against the Spread, where we talk about sports from a betting perspective. It is Saturday, January 4th, and we have 9 games in the NBA to go over today. We did have a pretty good day yesterday. We went 4-1 with our NBA picks, 4-2 if you include the Pistons pick, which as it was going up, I said I don't know if I was bet it or not, but I was on the 6.5 in a parlay, so I'll include it if you want me to, and it still had a profitable day. So 4-1, 4-2, depending on what you pick, what you bet. We missed the Boston and Houston over. Houston couldn't get to 100 points, which let Boston know that they didn't have to compete that hard, at least in the offensive side. So defense ruled that game, and the over did not hit. We did get the Spurs plus the 7 against Denver. They won outright, 113-110. Cleveland beat Dallas, no matter what number you got, 134-122. Dallas was injured, though, so we knew that going in. Knicks lost to the Thunder. We had the Thunder minus the 4.5. The game was pretty close to the last 3 minutes or so, and then the Thunder kind of walked away with it. And then the under came through on the Magic game. A little worried at halftime, but clamped down in the second half, and that's why we like Magic unders. So 4-1 day, 4-2 if you include the Pistons game. But on to today, 9 more games to talk about. A couple teams on a back-to-back. And we got some NFL. I'll go over some NFL thoughts at the end of the video. See if you're still here. But first game up, we got the 76ers and the Nets. The Nets are home underdog, 7.5 points. Total of 214.5. I think I like the Nets here. 76ers haven't really showed me that they can put it together on consecutive nights. This team is 13-19 on the season. Brooklyn's 13-21. Kind of feel like the same team, both 5-9 at home, 8-10 on the way for one, 8-12 away for the other. Kind of feel like the same team, and I don't know why there's 7.5 points here. I know Joel Embiid is the difference maker when he's on the floor, but Tyrese Maxey is the number 1 scorer. So Joel Embiid did have 28 points in his last game, but he's questionable today also. So kind of never know. I'd rather have the points in my pocket. Brooklyn has kind of like a new look. They got D'Angelo Russell, which kind of adds a little difference, little speed to the front court a little bit. So don't know what to expect, but I'd rather have those 7 points in my pocket in this game. So Brooklyn plus 7.5 against the 76ers. Suns at the Pacers. Pacers favored by 2 points at home. I like the Pacers in this game. Without a fully healthy Suns team, you never know what you're going to get also. And I think we have Beal, Allen, and O'Neal on the injury report. Let's see. Last game we had Beal played 12 minutes, 3 points, came out. Durant played almost the whole game, scored 29. Booker 16. Mason Plumlee started at the center, scored 12. This team has been kind of disappointing this year, in my opinion, and I feel like the Pacers might be the better team right this second. Of course, last game, Halliburton scores 33 points. When I needed him to score, he was non-existent, but now he's back. Neesmith is still out. Wiseman and Jackson out for the season. So as long as Halliburton, Nembhard, Turner in there, and Siakam, kind of like the Pacers, that healthy unit I think can beat a lot of people. So with the pace they play, I think I'm on the Pacers minus 2 at home. Next game up, we got the Timberwolves and the Pistons. Timberwolves should win this game. Timberwolves should win this game. Pistons are on the back-to-back. The number is at 7 though, and the way the Pistons have been playing, I think they might be able to cover the 7. But on a back-to-back, not really excited about trying to get there with them. So rather than do that, I'd rather just stay off the game. In my opinion, these teams are closer than the number suggests. Minnesota is 17-16 on the season. Detroit is 16-18 on the season. Against the spread, Detroit is a better team at 17-16-1. Minnesota is 13-19-1. At home, Detroit is 7-8 away. Minnesota is 8-9. So There's nothing that tells me that this number should be all the way at 7.5, other than the fact that the Pistons are in the back-to-back. So the on-paper roster might be a little more talented on the Minnesota side, but Pistons have been more scrappy. So, and they're at home. I would lean that way, expecting the Timberwolves to probably pull it out, but thinking that the Pistons might be able to cover. So those are my thoughts. Not sure if I'll get there by game time. Jazz and the Heat. Heat are 8.5-point favorites at home. With all the Jimmy Butler mess over the last week or two, and they're claiming it's, over, the Heat are claiming it's over the full season that he's been having conduct detrimental to the team. But with the last, 2-week mess that we've heard about, I almost think that the Heat might breathe a sigh of relief with him not on the floor, not in the building. So with his 7-game suspension, this might be a chance to see how the Heat will react without him, will play without him, and if it'll be a boost or not. So I think it might be a boost, especially against a Jazz team that has no expectations. So Heat minus 8.5 is where I'd lean. That number is very big. We don't usually like to bet them at home as sizable favorites. But taking a shot in the dark without Jimmy Butler on the floor, seeing if they play a little more cohesively. He was only adding 9 points to the mix anyway. See who else gets those 9. Nuggets and Spurs, these two teams just played last night in Denver. Spurs went outright as 7-point underdogs. Number moved to 5 before the game started, and now we're looking at 2.5. So big 5-point swing from where I bet it yesterday. Not sure. I want to lean Spurs. I want to lean Spurs to beat them twice in a row. Now that they're back at home, Nuggets don't play as well on the road. I feel like yesterday was their shot. Spurs might have the younger, more energetic bench on a back-to-back. That's the side I want to lean to. Don't know if I'll get there, though. So I like the Spurs. I like how they played. I like how they match up against the Nuggets. Don't know if I'll get there with a plus 2.5 Spurs bet today. It's early. We'll see what the number does. Blazers and Bucks. We have another double-digit spread with this Bucks team. And yesterday they lost outright, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, Brooklyn beat them outright as 12-point underdogs, 110-113. So why would I like them tonight on a or not tonight, not yesterday? They won the second. So they've had a day off to think about it, but why would I like them tonight against the Blazers as a 12-point favorite when they lost outright the other day? So it's too much variance, too much up and down. Giannis, I believe, scored 27. Dave scored 23. No other starter had more than 12, and one person had 12. The other two had single digits. So if you're able to shut one of those stars down, like there's no way that you can compete with most of these teams. So too much variance, staying off the game. But I don't like the Bucks as double-digit favorites to anybody right now. Knicks and Bulls. Bulls are home underdogs, 5.5 points. Knicks are on a back-to-back. Knicks lost yesterday as underdogs to the Thunder. We were on the Thunder. I like the Knicks to bounce back in this spot on the road against a inferior Bulls team. It is a slight rivalry, not so much these days, but two franchises that kind of always been at each other's necks. So I think it's more for the fans than the players on the floor right this second. But I'll go Knicks. Knicks minus the 5.5. I think they can pull it out. I think they're better at closing a game than the Bulls are, where I think the Thunder are better at closing a game than the Knicks are. So Knicks minus the 5.5 for that one. Grizzlies and Warriors. There's no Ja. There's no Steph on the other side. No Pajimski. Not really sure how I feel about this game. So probably going to stay off this one. And similar situation in the Hawks and the Clippers. Hawks also on a back-to-back as the Grizzlies are. Clippers 6.5-point home favorites, and Kawhi might be back today. So Kawhi hasn't really played all season, and first game back, not really sure how he's going to affect the starting lineup. for the Clippers and how he's going to, perform on the floor himself. How many minutes he's going to play, how effective he's going to be while he's on the floor, that type of thing. So, Hawks are playing decent basketball right this second. They're only 5-5 in their last 10 games straight up and against the spread. Losses to the Bucks, the Spurs, the Grizzlies, the Nuggets and the Lakers, and wins against the Knicks, Timberwolves, Bulls, Heat, and the Raptors. So, probably stand out this game also. Not sure about the Kawhi variance. They are at home. They are coming off a loss to the Thunder and a loss to the Spurs. This should be a spot for the Clippers, but too much variance with their star player coming back. So, going to stay off that one as well. These late games, I'm on the East Coast. I'd rather let the dust settle before I jump in and wait all day to hear that my bet's been, compromised. So, no bet in that one right now. Browns and Ravens. See if the spread is still super, super, super high. I'm sure it is. All right, so I'm seeing 20 even for Baltimore. Still seeing some 19.5 at FanDuel and DraftKings. But Ravens are favored by 19.5, 20 points against the Browns. Browns are starting Bailey Zappi. Have a ton of injuries, a ton of people they're probably going to rest. Ravens need to win this game to solidify their seeding. If they lose the game, if Pittsburgh wins, Pittsburgh can still get the division title. So Baltimore does need to win this game, but they don't need to win it by 20. Could they? Should they? Yes. But will they? Not sure. So what I would like to do is Ravens in the under, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Browns were able to cover this game. So pretty volatile. That's the way I would do it. Is Ravens in the under or just the under by itself. But that's my play. Bengals and the Steelers. Bengals are favored 2.5 points on the road. They need to win this game. They also need the Dolphins to lose, and they need another team to lose in order to get into the playoffs. So, like I said, Steelers could still get the division if the Ravens lose. So, this game is still important for both teams. Is George Pickens still out? That's the question. George Pickens, full participation in practice. So if he's in, I kind of like the over in this game. Not sure who's going to win. But him being an option for Russell Wilson to throw to has been key for their offense to be successful. So without him on the floor or without him on the field, he has less targets and kind of predictable, it seems. If you have to guard Pickens, those other guys are also open. So I like him on the field for an over. Without him on the field, probably a Bengals bet. So pay attention to his status, and those would be my thoughts. So if you are still here, type Go Ravens in the chat to let me know. It's a page from God Boston Sports. But yeah, so those will be my thoughts for this video here. Go ahead and lock those in. Let's get this money, and we will be back tomorrow for some more NBA and probably some NFL. Like I said, I'm going to lay off that a little bit because it's so volatile with these playoffs. Anything can happen, and I'm seeing the NBA card a little bit better than I'm seeing the NFL card, in my opinion. So, like I said, lock those in. Let's get this money. We'll be back tomorrow to talk some more sports. See you then.